Hello, Charlene here. And today we're talking about what to do when you don't know what to do when you're live streaming. Oh my goodness, that was a little bit of a fumble there. If you are starting out with live streaming, or maybe you've been streaming for a while, or maybe you're kind of tight on time and you still want to put out your regular weekly live stream, but you don't know what to do, then think about having a guest. And today we're going to talk about why guests are really great for being on your live stream and how to find the right guest for your next uh, live event, live stream event. Let's get started. Hello, and I am Charlene Tessier, founder of Strength in Numbers. I'm helping you to attract ideal prospects to your business using LinkedIn and or live streaming. And today we're talking about having a guest. I don't have a guest this time. And actually, when I first started out live streaming, what I actually did is I didn't do streams like this on my own. Main reason is because often procrastination sets in. I mean, yes, I can schedule it, or I would procrastinate scheduling it. And because no one really was holding me accountable to go live every week, I often dropped the ball on that. And so what I did was I told my virtual assistant, line me up a guest every week. Here's the time block, schedule it in, and get that guest scheduled on there. And actually, that's how I ended up getting accepted into LinkedIn Live. I actually did a weekly show where I had a guest on every week and we talked about different stuff. And it was the easiest way for me to get started. Also, I didn't have to really prepare content for the live stream. I had a series of questions that I often asked. I had a few sort of opening and icebreaker questions. If you're wondering how to create those, just search in Google for a random question generator. There's tons of them, they're free, and you can get a lot of really interesting icebreaker questions. And I picked 3 to 5 in advance just so that they would be appropriate for my live stream. And then I always had kind of a few standard questions, of course, to ask the guests who they are, who do they serve. And usually I ask the guest to either share a story or a tip. And sometimes I'd mix it up so that way it would be a little more interesting. But in the end, there wasn't really a lot for me to prepare. I could just have a template with kind of the questions and the sequence that I want to go, and also see how the conversation went organically, right? Just kind of let it fly. And it's fun and easy to do because you have another person there to talk to. And so it takes away the nerves as well of having to go live and being afraid of going live because you have another friend there to just have a chat and relax. So a guest is an amazing way to not only get started with live stream, but if you're not really that organized and don't want to produce a bunch of content, having a guest is just a great way to have deliver content that's you don't need to prepare in advance. You can kind of let the guest do it for you. The other great thing about having a guest, it boosts your audience. And it's something I'm going to be getting back into soon. I haven't actually had enough time to have guests on my show, but having a guest means you're bringing in somebody else's audience because your guests will most likely tell their audience they're going to be live on my show, for example. And therefore, I'll get exposed to people who I wouldn't have normally been exposed to and get more eyeballs on my live stream and possibly into my list. And that's really great. And so by having even two, you could even sometimes have three, guests. It's a bit more to coordinate, but I find just having one new guest a week can get you into more new people's audiences. The other thing that's really great about having a guest on your live stream is picking a guest that's the right for your audience. So that's the most important thing. You don't want to have a guest that doesn't really match. Now, what does that mean that they don't really match? Well, when you want a guest who is essentially, how do I explain that? Kind of they support your business, but first of all, they're not direct competition in my business. So, for example, I don't reach out to other LinkedIn coaches to be on my live stream. It does not make sense. I have my very own LinkedIn system, and therefore I don't want to promote other LinkedIn and live streaming coaches, right, who are in direct competition with me. But I've had, for example, Bridget, who actually showcased how to do slides really well, because that's one of the things I want to implement in my live streams is a few more slides. And slides can either take away from the presentation or really enhance and boost that up. And there's actually quite a fine art to it. And my audience who is interested in doing video and live streaming and probably live virtual events would definitely be interested in having a presentation that really boosts up their presentation and helps them, come across as very professional. Another coach that I often have is Elizabeth, who is a story coach, because with live video and any content, story is an amazing way to deliver your value and your content and for people to get to know you. And so having a story coach, again, it's just kind of enhances my business, and it would enhance anybody who's interested in creating content on LinkedIn, finding their prospect on LinkedIn, and making live stream videos. So you want to think about who it is that would really up up level and enhance your business, and those are generally the best guests. You'll notice that the audience overlap is also very strong. So like people who are following Elizabeth are looking to write a story or write a book, or maybe they're content creators of some sort, right? And they want to implement story better in their business. Well, telling story through live video or on LinkedIn is a directly complementing each other. If we look at the slides, like I said, many of the people who come to me are looking to use live video and presentations to enhance their reach. And therefore, we have a lot of overlap because those who are probably producing slides are most likely doing live virtual events or trying to reach their audience on LinkedIn. So think about who would complement your business as a guest and start inviting them. And you don't need to go crazy and be like me and fill up that roster once a week. One guest a month is amazing and it can do a lot for you. And it's also great for partner building and developing that long-term relationship with partners that you can always, lean on in the future. So that's today's tips. And so in summary, if you are just starting out with live streaming and you're really scared, start with a guest. There's many benefits. The main three benefits to having a guest is you get to have more reach because the guest is going to advertise you into their audience. You don't need to be quite so scared because you have a friend on the call with you. And third is you don't need to produce so much original content. Just have a series of questions that you like to ask and use those. So until next time, I'll see you then.